Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening and welcome to this special news bulletin. Thank you for joining us.
Tonight, our focus is on a massive wave of change that has shaken Nepal to its core. A movement led by Generation Z has altered the nation's course, leading to the Prime Minister's resignation, deadly riots, and serious questions about foreign interference.
That's right. What began as peaceful protests against social media bans and the lavish lifestyles of the elite's children, known as Nepal kids, quickly escalated into one of the most chaotic and deadly events in Nepal's recent history.
Our report begins with a shocking chronology. Let's go to our Comprehensive coverage.
In early September 2025, the government of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli blocked 26 social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. The reason cited was the company's failure to comply with local regulations.
This ban became the fuel that ignited the anger of the youth. For Nepal's Generation Z, where unemployment stands at a staggering 20.8% and over 22,000 people leave the country daily to seek work. Social media is a lifeline, a window to the world and a primary communication tool with family working abroad.
This frustration had been simmering for a long time. Young people were fed up with the vast social inequality, watching politicians, children, or Nepo kids flaunt luxurious lifestyles with designer bags and international trips, while they struggled to meet basic needs. The hashtag NepoBaby trend went viral, becoming a symbol of resistance.
Peaceful demonstration began. However, the situation drastically changed on September 8th and 9th. As crowds tried to approach the parliament building, police fired tear gas, water cannons, and most controversially, live ammunitions.
The impact was tragic. According to the latest data, at least 51 people were killed and more than 1,200 were injured in the clashes. Amnesty International confirmed the use of live rounds by security force.
The deaths of these protesters ignited even public fury. Tens of thousands of citizens of all ages defied curfews and flooded the streets. The anger was now unstoppable.
The protests descended into chaos that was difficult to control. The mob set fire to symbols of power. The Nepali parliament building, the Singha Durbar Palace that houses many ministries, and even the Supreme Court were engulfed in flames.
The private homes of several politicians, including former PM Sher Bahadur Deuba and PM Oli himself, were attacked, vandalized, and burned. Circulating videos showed PM Deuba and his wife injured after being attacked by the mob.
Amid this chaos, more than 12,500 inmates were reported to have escaped from damaged prisons, further complicating the security crisis.
Under immense pressure, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli finally announced his resignation on September 9th. However, this move proved insufficient to quell public anger.
Behind the riots lies a unique story of how this leaderless movement organized itself, with major social media platforms blocked activity, activists turned to Discord, a platform popular with gamers.
The Hami Nepal Discord server became the new virtual parliament. Its membership exploded to over 145,000 people. They debated, they debated, discussed, and even held polls to select candidates for an interim leader.
Astonishingly, Nepal's military leadership came to this platform. They asked the group to submit names for a candidate to lead an interim government. After lengthy discussion, they put forward Susila Karki, the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
This represents an extraordinary shift in power, from a virtual chat room to the highest level of military command.
Yet, behind this internal turmoil, certain reports have emerged pointing to possible foreign interference.
Indian media, the Sunday Guardian, reported based on leaked documents from a whistleblower that the United States has funneled more than $900 million into Nepal since 2020.
The substantial, the substantial funds were allegedly channeled through agencies like USAID and the Millennium Challenge Corporation, as well as the Washington-based CEPPS consortium, which includes the National Democratic Institute and International Republican Institute for programs on democracy, governance, media, and adolescents' health.
The report described the scale of his finding as unusual for a country the size of Nepal and indicated a pattern similar to US interventions in other countries like Bangladesh and Cambodia. Declassified documents from the Nixon era were also cited as historical evidence of US involvement in Nepal.
It is important to note that U.S. has not issued an official statement responding to these allegations. However, this report has added a new and complex dimension to the crisis in Nepal.
Now, Nepal faces the monumental task of rebuilding. Material damage is estimated at $177 million.
Critical infrastructure lies in ruins. The tourism sector, a backbone of the economy, has been hit extremely hard. The newly opened Hilton Kathmandu alone reportedly suffered losses up to $56 million.
The interim government under Karki now bears a tremendous burden, restoring security, recapturing thousands of escaped inmates, rebuilding infrastructure, and most importantly, restoring shattered public trust.
The big question remains: will this wave of anger from Generation Z truly result in the structural change they fought for, or will it merely lead to a rotation of the ruling elite? And to what extent does foreign interference play a role in triggering this upheaval?
This concludes our special report on the political and social upheaval in Nepal, a lesson in the power of youth, but also stark reminder of a nation's fragility when injustice and inequality are left unaddressed.
This crisis is a mirror for many nations around the world. In the digital age, the people's voice can no longer be silenced. However, a transition towards peaceful and sustainable change always requires wisdom, not just anger.
We will continue to monitor the situation in Nepal closely. Thank you for watching.
And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.